Welcome back to the Chester Centurions Podcast, where we explore the journeys of entrepreneurs and business leaders building remarkable companies. Today's guest is Ian Harris, founder of a specialist property consultancy that helps clients buy their dream homes in Spain. With 25 years of experience, Ian offers a unique service, guiding UK buyers through every step of the process before they even set foot on a plane, ensuring their investment fits not only their budget, but their lifestyle and long-term goals. In this conversation, we cover the power of listening deeply to clients and understanding their real needs, how Ian's business balances personal connection with expertise, the realities of running a niche business that looks glamorous but is packed with challenges, Ian's life-changing cardiac arrest last year, how it reshaped his priorities, Ian's top 3 tips: listen before you broadcast, stay connected with clients long after the sale, and always offer extra value. Let's dive in. So Ian, welcome to the Chester Centurion Podcast.
Good morning, Alan. Yes, thanks for having me on today. It's a pleasure.
Very welcome. Listen, before we get started, I'd love to know a little bit more about the business, what it is you do, what you specialise in, how long you've been trading.
Yeah, all right, thanks. Well, we started trading about 25 years ago, predominantly based in Spain. And 5 years ago, we moved back to the UK. And I was still operating over to Spain and back with a business there. And then we realised that what I was doing here was going to people's houses, talking to them about their plans and their dreams to buy a place in Spain, and in a relaxed atmosphere, and almost talking to them before they go out into the heat of Spain and all get excited and everything. And we found that people were making more informed decisions here before they went out there, and also it helped us in terms of understanding what their lifestyle was like and what made them tick and what their family, how many members of family they had, so we could almost look at for the perfect property over in Spain.
So have you still got an office in Spain?
Yes, yeah. It's in a place called Benihoffer.
Okay.
So that's about 30 minutes from Alicante. But we operate from Denia, which is slightly north of Costa Blanca, all the way down to La Linea, which is near Gibraltar. Wow. So we've got a number of clients for south and south, around Puerto Banús recently. But our main business is around Costa Blanca.
Ian, you're making me feel as if I need a holiday.
I have to say, when I get off the plane, I'll be going next Sunday for about 10 days with 3 clients. Mm-hmm. When I get off the plane, and I've come from the UK, especially in the winter, it is a joy to get off the plane, 18, 19 degrees, when it's sometimes -6 here when I've left, and it feels good.
Gosh.
So,
you're making me jealous. So typically, what are your clients looking like? What kind of properties do you sell?
Anything around golf courses, around 15 minutes, 20 minutes from the sea, 30 minutes from an airport. I just had a client in this morning, a new client who just walked in off the street, and they are looking for up to 300,000, 2-bed, 2-bath apartment. But I said we can actually get in the Costa Blanca. There's places where we can get a 3-bed villa for that budget, which are about 15 minutes away from the sea. Sort of clients who come in and they're looking to retire at some point in the future and retire or spend more time over in Spain, mm-hmm. because it's only 2.5 hours away, sometimes 2 hours when the wind's behind us. It's a good proposition. Especially this morning, the client had been looking at Tenerife, perhaps, or Lanzarote, which is always about 4 hours flight. And so sometimes people make a decision to go to mainland Spain because it's only 2 hours away. Yeah, and so they can come into the office here. The idea of the office was, instead of me just going to someone's house, we had a place where people can walk in, meet me here, and discuss their plans for 4 months, 5 months, or 4 weeks. In the case of my client last week, I met early March, mm-hmm. around 13th to 14th of March, and they signed for a property by golf course last Thursday afternoon.
Beautiful.
But we worked hard for like 5 or 6 weeks with them, to get to understand, went and visited them at their home, got to meet some of the family, and understand what made them tick. And really, by the time we got to Spain to meet them, I think we had about 20 properties lined up. We showed them 7 properties, and that was it, because the other 13 that we had lined up didn't fit the bill when they got there.
Mm-hmm.
They did on paper and they did on the internet. It looked fabulous, but when the client got there, they realised that there was things that they didn't like about those properties. But some of them we never even went to see, because we eliminated them on their behalf because of the feedback. They sort of sometimes unofficial feedback
Mm-hmm.
that they've given us about a property, and we think, well, there's 2 or 3 or 4 of them that we've lined up to see tomorrow, so we're not going to see them because you've already indicated that you don't like them, like that type of property. So it's all about listening to the client and not being afraid to just take control and almost take out some of the properties that you're going to show them because you know they're not going to be suitable. A place in the sun is everyone talks to me about that, and I suppose similar to what we do here, but the difference is that we're a lot more flexible. Obviously, a place in the sun have to go with the program, if you like,
Mm-hmm.
whereas we can adjust the program and change it. Finish with a client at 5 or 6 o'clock one afternoon, and for the next day, completely change the schedule because of the feedback that they've given us. So it's a live thing that's happening, a live schedule that can be changed.
I like that, Ian. I like all about listening to the client, really understanding the lifestyle, understanding the other family members as well. I mean, you obviously go to real detail about fitting the perfect property for them.
Yes,
I like that a lot. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, what we often have parents who've been together for 30 or 40 years, and they'll be looking to buy for themselves, but they almost need to also accommodate their children. And I say to them, don't buy for the children, but just let's keep in mind the children, because we don't want a couple going out there and enjoying something, but where the kids go out and say it's too far from the airport, there's nothing around it, or I said, so always keep in mind that you want your family to like it as well. They don't have to be accommodated. There may only be 2 bedrooms in the property, and they've got like 4 kids. Well, they'll just have to accommodate that. If their budget stretches them to only 2 bedrooms, then just go with that. And I say that the kids will love it as long as the location's correct and there's things to do around there.
So, what motivated you to get started in your own business, and what was the driving force behind the decision to take on this entrepreneurial role?
So my background is engineering, and I did engineering for many years, and I wanted to get into property, and I was quite good at engineering, but I really had a desire to get into property, and just so to be self-employed and to be able to decide what hours I wanted to work and almost create dreams and new lives for people, certainly in selling property in Spain.
Okay.
So one of the biggest drivers is family, is just being able to spend more time with them.
Time with family. I get that. And sort of being your own boss is probably one of the biggest reasons that someone will start their own business. But as it's growing up, what would you say the biggest common sort of misconceptions about running a business are, and how do you go about addressing them?
That it's easy.
I've heard that before.
And it's hard work, and especially what we do, because our decisions on behalf of our clients will dictate their life for the future, and so we want to get it right. So it's not an easy thing. You've got to make sure that you're making the right decisions, and sometimes we've had instances where we've sort of advised the client that a property isn't suitable for them for whatever reasons it is, and we know that 6 months or a year later they've bought it with another agent, and they've actually ended up selling it or wanting to sell it after a year because it wasn't right for them. And we sort of have 25 years in the business, we have a good idea of what's good and what's not good once we get to know a client, because we know the pitfalls. We've been there. We've built homes over there. We've bought homes. We've bought off plan. And we know all of the, some of the pitfalls, and we know what to look out for. And we know when there's a property that's offered to us that maybe a new development, and sometimes it's too good to be true, and often it is, and that's because it might not be legal, or it might not be, and that doesn't happen too often, but we do know that these things can happen. Really? So we're on the ball with that. So it's very hard work,
It's not as easy as everybody, as
Yeah.
social media would let us believe. And the other thing I'm picking up there is experience counts, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And we want to, we're not afraid to be honest with clients and say, look, we don't think that property is suitable for you
Mm-hmm.
because, for instance, there's only one bar within 20 minutes walk, and the next bar is like 40 minutes away. And if you don't like that bar that's close to you there, and you fall out with a few people inside the bar, then you've got something 40 minutes away, the next place, and or it might be a finca that's in the middle of nowhere, and people come out and say, "Oh, we want to buy a finca," and I say, "Why?" Because we want to do it up. And I ask, "Have you done that before?" No, we haven't done it in England, but we want to do it in Spain. And I thought, why would you go to a foreign country where all the rules are different and start trying to do this on your own out in a foreign country?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also in a finca in the middle of winter, there might be power cuts and whatever. And you'll be driving up this road, a dark road, and think, why did we do it? So we'll always point out some of the pitfalls like that and the pros and cons of a property that they're looking at,
Mm-hmm.
just to make sure that they're aware of that. And they might say, look, that doesn't bother us. We're all good with that. And I say, that's fine. But we just want to make sure that they're aware of things like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, you're 25 years in. How do you maintain a work-life balance as a business owner? What do you have any sort of personal rituals or habits that keep you motivated and focused?
Well, just under a year ago, I had an incident in a gym where I was trying to keep fit, and actually I had a cardiac arrest,
Oh my
and
God.
and I was out for the count for 5 minutes. My heart stopped, and so I was literally dead for 5 minutes. Luckily, there were about 7 people who got on to me, pulled me off the treadmill. There was a doctor to my left and a nurse to my right, and they did CPR, got the Z-fib, and that brought me back to life, luckily. So I'm here to tell the story. I had a quadruple heart bypass last May, and had a pericardial effusion. It was a long story, but I ended up coming out it the other side. So that's made me realign and rethink my whole strategy about work-life balance and making sure that you make time for your family, because you never know the day when something's going to happen, like it did about a year ago with me.
Mm-hmm.
So just making sure that you, I go to the gym every day now, either in the morning or in the evening, and just keep fit. I don't drink anymore. I have a clear mind every day when I go to work. I put together a plan of what I'm going to do that day, and the targets for the now and for sort of 2 or 3 months time, and always staying focused.
Wow. And it took that to really bring your mind into focus. I think the other thing we need to make sure of when we're in the gym is there's a doctor to the left and a nurse to the right, right?
Absolutely, I was so lucky, and
Gosh, wow.
and funnily enough, only 3 weeks ago, I met the person who was to my right. And that was the first person on the scene, if you like, because they saw me fall, and they dragged me off the treadmill. And I reconnected with them through LinkedIn a few weeks ago, and as it happens, they want to buy a place in Marbella. So we've started engaging with them on that. And I've come out with a new strap line: is it's amazing the people that you meet when you're dead, which is exactly what I did. And she's turned into a friend, I would say, and latterly a client.
Well, I'm so pleased that's a story with a happy ending, Ian, and my gosh, and it's really refocused you on your work-life balance to make sure that you're keeping fit, you're keeping healthy, and you've got a plan for what you're doing. I really like that. I think there's a lot of lessons there for us all, including myself.
And for your children, because my children I've got 4 children, and we nearly ended up with no father, and life would have been a lot different for them, and
gosh.
But I'm here to tell the story, which is good.
Yes. So listen, there's no segue on to the next question from that. That's just an incredible story, but I've got to ask it. Listen, business is moving faster than it's ever moved. We're in a constantly evolving business landscape. How do you stay adaptable and open to change? And are there any specific strategies that you use to remain innovative and at the cutting edge?
Yeah, I mean, we keep abreast of all the laws that change in Spain, and they do change, without you even knowing. Sometimes you have to research all of that. So you've got to keep on top of that. You've got to keep on top of all the developments that are available, because often we're driven by our clients who will say, I like this particular property, and we might not even know of that development. So we're always keeping an eye on all of the new developments that are happening all throughout the southeast coast of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just keeping an eye on what's available, reading about the markets, where they're going, what investment strategies are working, what new areas are coming up, and directing our clients towards them it depends what their drivers are. If it's not interested in investment in terms of making any money on a property, but they just want it by a particular area, then we'll take them to an area that's established. But if they're looking for an investment, we'll look at areas that are up and coming and new areas like towards Matheron, that sort of area, where it's relatively untouched, but in the next 5 to 10 years, it'll shoot up. So we keep abreast of all the new developments and offer them to clients. And sometimes it's not suitable. A client last week, the properties were about 45, 50 minutes away from the airport, which didn't fit with them because they wanted it to be 25, 30 minutes away. So they could hop on a plane on a Friday night and be in their place at 8 o'clock in the evening. And when people tell us that, we say, well, that's not going to be suitable for you because you've got probably best part of an hour to get to there, and you've got to get an hour back. And if you're just going for a quick weekend, it's not going to work for you. So just keeping abreast of all the new developments is one of the biggest things that we do.
And making sure that the investment is solid and you're going to get a return on your investment at the end.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Really interesting. Really interesting. So, could you offer a glimpse into the future plans and goals for the business? What's the next chapter for you guys?
Well, because we're sort of driven by a lot of our clients. Sometimes people come in, they've asked for North Cyprus, for instance, or Cyprus or other areas. So we have got some partner collaboration agreements with different developers in different countries now, in Dubai, in Indonesia, in North Cyprus. So we're sort of diversifying into being a Spanish property specialist, but also an international property specialist. And the idea is to roll out a number of other parts of the business, and also maybe go further south, where we know there's a demand for this type of setup, where you can come to meet someone like me and talk about property abroad. Someone who knows the process, who's going to guide you through from start to finish. So the idea would be to expand that to different regions in the UK.
That's exciting, isn't it? So opening up another office in the UK possibly, and also opening up other developments in other countries.
Absolutely, yeah, because of the demand. The demand's out there.
Very good. I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Ian. I've got one more question for you, so don't shoot away too quickly. I'm a little bit jealous because, I love a little bit of sun. I am Scottish, so it takes me a fortnight to go pink. I don't tan, but I do like a bit of heat now and again. So I am a little bit jealous that you're getting to fly over there all the time, Ian. But my last question, and it's a big one, is I guess what are the 3 biggest pieces of advice that you could offer an aspiring entrepreneur, maybe someone starting their own business or maybe facing challenges in their business right now? What would you say your top 3 are, Ian?
First one is listen before you broadcast. Listen to the client's needs and wants first before you start talking. Stay connected with your clients all of the time, and listen to them. And always listen about what their needs and wants are. But stay connected, and offer things for free. Offer services. Do go out of your way to go the extra mile, because there'll be someone else in the next street or the next town who's going to offer similar to you. So you've always got to keep on the ball and give them a bit more. Go the extra mile with clients. That'd be my 3.
So listen to your clients deeply. I think active listening is a skill that you've got to train. You've got to get good at it. I coach a lot of salespeople, and active listening is an absolute skill. And what tends to happen is people are thinking about the next question they want to ask, and they're not actually listening.
Yeah.
And we coach away from that. Forget about the next question. It's okay to pause at the end of an answer and think about what you need to say next. But in that moment, you have to be listening.
Absolutely.
2 ears, 1 mouth, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stay connected and build meaningful relationships, I think, is really important as well. These are great points. The deeper and the more meaningful your relationship is, the more valuable that will be to you and to them.
And after you've done, after they've bought something, stay in touch and be there for them, because I'm in touch with many clients from 20 years ago who still call upon us, and they may refer us to a family member or a friend, and they'll know we looked after them 20 years ago, and they still refer us. And that's one of the beauties of my job, is that we do get the client last week was from someone who completed in February, and they referred me, and they came to us in March, and they've signed a contract. We've just got the compraventa today for them to sign. So they signed a reservation contract last Thursday, but we've got the purchase contract today for them. So that's pretty cool. Within 5 or 6 days, we've done all the legal checks on the property through the lawyer, and checked any encumbrances, done everything that we need to do in order for them to sign the contract. And the completion date is towards the end of June, but they can bring that forward now to the end of May if they wish. So,
wow. And then the third point, offer value. Offer, whether it's something free, but offer value to your clients. I think that's three incredible points there, Ian.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
It's been great. Thanks, Alan. It really is. I haven't done many of these at all, and but I like the idea of them, and going forward, I'm sure we'll do it again.
Definitely, it's been good fun. Let's meet up for a coffee sometime, maybe in Spain.
Yeah, I'd invite you out there for sure. Plenty of flights from the northwest, either Liverpool or Manchester.
Thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice to see you, Alan. All the best.
Bye-bye.